Hey guys, today we have a new topic of 10th grade. Yes, we have chapter 1, section 2, and the topic is about exponent and radicals. What is the benefit in our daily life? In our daily life, roots are used in many fields. For example, in architectural engineering and measuring the diameter of TV screen, etc. This is a very important. This is very important to know so that the TV can be placed in a suitable location. We have First, I'm gonna explain about power of real number. So b to the nth power equal b time, etc. So n times we should multiply b. Example number 1, 1/2 to the third equal 1/2 time 1/2 time 1/2. We should multiply half 3 times. 3 times we should multiply half. So what is the properties of power? We have properties of powers. First, b to the mth time b to the nth equal b m plus n. Multiply in the multiplication, we should find the sum of the exponents. B to the m over b to the n, or b to the m to the power m over b to the n power b m minus n. In division, we should subtract the exponent b mth over b nth. So we should subtract them. Put one of the bases down and then subtract the exponent. B power to power, b mth, b to the mth power raising to the nth power equal bm time n. Multiply the exponent, or power to power. ab to the nth power equal a to the nth power time, we separate the letters, n, a to the nth power and b to the nth power. We used distributive property here. Distribute n with respect to a and with respect to b. Distribute n with respect to a and with respect to b. Look, b a to the nth power, b over a to the nth power equal b nth over a nth. Okay, we separate, or we distributed nth power to the ratio with respect to the numerator and with respect to the denominator, like b to the nth over a to the nth. We have a hint. It is so important. Sorry, I should use white. We have a hint. Be aware that if n is an even number, so negative b to the nth power is a positive number, This is the first. Second, if n is an odd number, then negative b to the nth power is a negative number, Okay, so we have an example. Negative 2 to the fourth equal to positive number. Why? Because we should multiply negative 2 4 times. 4 times. So 2 times 2, 4 times 2, 8 times 2, it is positive 16. But negative 2 to the third equal negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2. So it is equal to negative 8. Negative 8. We have example, another example or example. After this hint, I'm going to solve this example. Example, solve the expression 2x to the third, y to the negative 4. We have 3x to the second power, y to the second power. So easy. Okay, so easy. We should solve it together. Equal. 2 times, I'm going to solve it directly. 2 times 3 equal to 6. X to the third times x to the second. In multiplication, we should find the sum. X to the fifth. Okay? And y to the negative 4 times y to the second or to the second power equal to the y to negative 2. So you should change negative exponent to positive exponent. So easy. Equal 6 equal 6x to the fifth over y to the second. Just we make it or we made it as a ratio. Another example. Simplify the expression 3x to the negative third, y to the second, 6xy to the third. Sorry, to the third. Y to the third. So we should multiply the coefficient first. 3 times 6 is 18. Sorry. 3 times 6 is 18. X, negative 3 plus 1, it is negative 2. Okay, in multiplication, we should find the sum. Or if the signs are different, we should subtract. Y to the second times y to the third, y to the fifth. So x here, or use the other color. So negative x to the negative 2 or negative, negative 2. It is negative exponent. We should change it to positive exponent, 18. Yeah. Let me use the white. 18. Okay. Y to the fifth over x to the second. So 18y to the fifth x second is the final result or final solution of this example. Okay guys, now we have a radical. What does it mean, radical? Radical. What does it mean, radical? The symbol of radical always like this. Maybe n is 2, is 3, is 4, 5, we don't know. Always we use to n, always we use second, or we use square or cube. Always, this is commonly. Okay, so the radical of x to the n represent a value known as a root. Okay, so for example, a to the second equal b. How can I take, or how can I find the solution or evaluate this equation? Just by taking radical for each side. A equal radical of b. And we have a crucial hint. The radical of x to the second power equal the absolute value of x. And the absolute value of x has two values, positive x and negative x. Positive x if x bigger than or equal to 0, and negative x if x less than 0. If x less than 0. This is the hint, and this hint you should pay attention. This hint for the absolute value of x, because the absolute value has two values. Now we have properties of square root. The first one, properties of square root. Radical of a times radical of a equal radical a. We should add them in multiplication, so it's 2. So this square with the radical equal to a. If a bigger than 0. Second, radical ab equal radical of a times radical of b. A and b bigger than 0. A comma bigger than 0. The third one, radical of a b equal radical of a over radical of b. And we have this hint or not. If a less than 0, then radical of a don't belong to real numbers, so it is a real number. Of course, it's a real number. So, for example, or for instance, the radical example of 9/49 equal. We should separate the radical first. Equal. The radical of 9 is 3. And the radical of 7 is, and 49 is 7. Okay, we separate them to take the value of each one. So we have the relationship between radical and rational exponent. So look at this hint. So important, please. You should get it well. X to the nth of radical n. So this hint, it is so crucial. Look, x to the nth power of radical n. We should take under the radical with respect to the variable and with respect to the exponent an interior over an exterior, an interior over an exterior. For instance, the radical of 64, the radical of, let me take, radical of 81 to the fourth equal 3 to the fourth. Why? Because we should multiply 3 4 times equal 81. So 4 with the radical equal to 3. Or 3 an interior over an exterior, we should simplify it, equal to 3. Same. Look. This one like this one. Now we have simplify radical. How can I simplify any radical? So easy. We have a radical of x, okay, plus minus b radical of x equal a plus minus b. We took a common factor between the coefficient, okay, and then we took a plus minus b, the coefficient, and we took as a common factor x, because it is a common factor between two terms. The first term is a to the radical x, and the second term is b radical x. Example. First example, look at this example. We have 6 radical of 5 plus 3 radical of 7 minus 2 radical of 5 plus radical of 7. So we should take 6. We should solve it directly because it is so easy. 6 radical of 5 minus 2 radical of 5 is 4 radical of 5 plus. Or you can solve it as grouping, as a parenthesis. 3 radical of 7 plus 7, because the coefficient here is 1, is 4 radical of 7. 3 plus 1 is 4. Thank you guys, and I hope you get it well. Subscribe my channel. Goodbye.